So me ye e kakra set kakra na me hu say ubetimi de Bawumia situation no and Bawumia na Mahama situation no
yes
e de atokofo ni Rollins ho
sir
because kofo e back be contest 96 olusu by 1.3 million votes
yes
but after 4 years utimi recover Emma in the second round will be winning by 56% with the help of other parties
sir.
Now the only reason is say na kofo nipa kofo ne contest ye no
yes
abria kofo san ba bi mu no
yes
na say nipa ni hobium that is Rollins
yes
so
nipa
kofo eba be against nipa hofro
yes
and the same way Mahama ene Bawumia so akọ na Bawumia lose by 1.7 million votes
yes
the next election
and
Mahama will have the opportunity to go with a new candidate from the NDC
exactly
and by so do you know I didn't know the one fact for the name analysis.
No, now the first one of no mark of Professor Dubois here. No, my Jai Kufoni. Yababa Kufoni, Yababa.
So clearly, such chat na abetu hai. Intino, na me be na me say. Okay, there is me wa video me pese yebebo.
Okay.
Of Honorable Kennedy Japan. Ya shem komona share free odie. Na yemfen free ho na fi yenhwe.
So abi efe eye ofe se ukun enye dwuma ye ana oba nye dwuma ya empogo na amodin ma edachi ebetimi amwadi uma edachi ebetimi amwadi ti nyame party welfare nyame we need build this party and you will some and listen. Can you believe me? I think 5 contestants now. What is the development? Ogya between 4 million. 4 million because party any capital. 80 me farm 400,000. Me farming 500,000. Now man, me no be so good dia bro. Iti man fa anko. I want to branch back the Kabuma so now 4 million on the buy. Now say 4 million. I joke like look. And then Samewa me Gamma deadline. Say on the 5th, a deadline to bring my 4 million. So I have to give them 4 million. Yes. And he finally contested as a flag bearer, 4.6 million. What is this bill? They said, any young casa, any my contractors here. And women, you know, maybe this is what Jessica Bryan to give.
All right, so Alaji, I'm going to Japan, and I will say, party na catch and say, ye catch room so be anfa development fee of 4 million Ghana cedis emra. It's now no filing for me party no afre no say endra last day or omo 4 million Ghana cedis no. And we complain say yes party ni niska. Na say party no abrea party ni ba ben mu no. Say party ni the contract emma party for a. Aka say ambenye sika no ma support party no.
Okay.
Aha, and now you try to pen me be say is it on our Japan na ask me about giving party to contract to party for and somebody else? I don't know what you also have to say about this. Any and Ras me who say man prugu youth no so a issue statement on kwesi kwatin. And the statement be a cultural Facebook say prior to the election Bawumia the arrival chief AC helicopter mu edniku see boko na my attention by nan crofan to about and order so let instance in view
my main can any opinion Canada Japan there na can say now can say contracts ye de ma party for anka ombenya sika e de aye o say contracts no hwan no na e de ma omo o ka che delegates no
and there wanka
non-party members now will receive contracts no wakaya na
and the wanka
osan catch a party a delegates and they say or non contracts one year from MPP from 2001 up to 2024. Okachi or more contracts on yae. Me, I've been a parliamentary correspondent for many years. Me wa parliament and the contract we buy. Say ya man ne yere nkwa contract on supply the electricity near bi wo Ashama area.
Okay.
100 million Ghana cedis.
I see.
Approval of that contract that no na me wa parliament. And yere din ba ya bibia winchi and I approve it man. Now sa 1 million 100 million the contract man yere nkwa and there were many more. Did he tell party delegates? Did he tell party people? Now no Bono regional chairman Abronye. Oh yeah, me make us say allegation. Or say MPP lose power 2024. Na finance minister Tuano Sika contracts are onya yeska over 600 million Ghana cedis. One can. Up to now, where our church or sebi Niema Nyansenim, no spokesperson. Have they responded to Abronya allegation? What is all my response? Say, even after MPP lost election, over 600 million, I was 640.
67 million.
67 million, sorry. 67 million. Sorry, 67 million. Ghana cedis. And a cheer, Emma, Canada, Japan. Check his can you, and yes, 67 million. No. Check ye.
Is it?
It is 600.
Sir.
Oh. Maybe I may check it. Let's take it. Say,
67 million. And I may check it.
Check it. Maybe it is 600. Even if it is 67 million. MPP supporters and MPP ministers are in any contract. Even ministers are in any contract. It costs 1 million, 100 million. Edi mo yere no mo. Ministers are in and our party supporters, party penyufo are in a contract. Even the 67 million, even if it is 67 million, Omukoji is just after the election. Did he tell the party delegates and our party foot soldiers, say over the years, on Oji contract? How many of the party foot soldiers, any party for an Oji contract? Contracts no support is say and all the ma foot soldiers no. This is a candidate 2023 Omoko primaries. No, what did he say? Almost say Akufado's ministers were looting like there was no tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay, allegation our primaries here or Bantama. Or yeah, Etia Francis Asenso Wachi. Say or Tom Abaya Sasi. As say Omu Nimna so Motoma a year or no near more dibe no. Party for no Sebio Mo Nyansan. Election no koye Senuniana all campaign man over here.
Yeah.
Asenso Wachi won the main election. The people knew, say, they all cano, Sebio na into a soup. They knew what Asenso Wachi, Honorable Asenso Wachi, Ayama Bantama for. They voted for him in the primaries and they voted in the general election. And the party, I have always said, say, any allegations, allegations, Nipa no Mokasa or Hono, Omanya Wanyanza. They know what goes on in this party. Nipa delegates no Mokasa no. Omokazo Mutimo Papa way, them are okay, Okase and Nim there. Or benefiting from this party. They know. The smallest person in this party knows. Say, Niema Ken. Honorable Canada Japan Free Party. When you tell full soldiers say 2020 after the 2023 primaries, Sukachi almost say the parties Omanya Ska Omudidia they have left full soldiers. Who sika onya ya na hina odema full soldiers no. How many people got what you got? Sebio Contestant. It is not for you to destroy the party, to destroy individuals for you to. It's a mark of weakness. Say one team can't delegate Niama Obetimaye. Ama party no any oba be mo yeah.
Okay.
It is not
so Abronya can say or say he was paid 645 million Ghana cedis on 19th December.
Yes.
2016.
Yes.
After the MPP Lusu election.
2024 on 2024.
2024.
Yes. Okay, over meeting
645 million. Yeah.
Up to now, and the spokesperson he has not issued any statement to debunk this. ena sebio me maka say party way at any material moment. I continue to repeat it. MPP delegates omunim nepa party no sunsum tanichi. They know. It is not the allegation that you make. It is not the noise I obey. Party ninim nepa on the beba. And the all cano me nema bebre wohwa. Bawumia has become a target of almost every so far. We Menu have been very. I think we should give it to them. Educhum, I've not heard him attack. Menu. I've not heard them say Omo attack Bawumia. But the other two there, Bawumia has become their twin stake.
Alaj, we be ofi the northern part of Ghana.
Yes.
The tribal attack and the tribal card being played by the two candidates Tawoka money Omukro for attacking Bawumia.
Yes. Because
Ohema Mprugu for statement now, I must say it was a political propaganda tool by the NDC, and it seems say now can I Japan crow for Nadia or Muyusu.
You see, last what day, Sir Mamprutini Kusasi as a started a crane and wo on a Dr. Bawumia. Yeah, we are not chieftaincy issues by all the time, no, not. Dr. Bawumia ye no kra no na onye MPP flag bearer. He was not even MPP Sometimes no na ono kra no oko school nyina na sa asem na ekos. E na obeye vice president. The vice president no me emma kra say sa same way. This issue has been there for years, and Dr. Bawumia has no any influence in what goes into this matter. Between two ethnic groups. Now, last week I say, so now project a year or so, election call.
Yes.
Bawumia, the center of the fight on Boku Central.
Yes.
Bawumia or man Prusini. NPP candidate or Yakusasini. Votes are in on ya.
NPP ninya 3,000.
Bawumia 13,000.
Yeah.
Man Prusini. So I get one neighbor, and you have also given perspective. Contestant, MPP since UP tradition, was no the performance of MPP. And yes, maybe ethnic, but naturally, generally, Kusasi zone, they don't vote for MPP. In fact, Upper East, the whole of Upper East, and near MPP area. I've said it here as a offer election results in terms of percentage. We Volta Regional, the region that gives NDC the highest percentage of votes, the difference between MPP and NDC Upper East over the years. So, and yet, Mamprusi and Yankosas about me, no, Mamprusi in internal MPP performing that way. By the way, so almost high allegations say another one say Bawumia Zongo ni he only won at one Zongo.
Yes, yes.
Friend say Winneba Zongo. Results not Enra na project shows clear to say and no say another crop by another.
But we knew a bit if Zongo cry.
In fact, the MA cry say many wow allegation wow Zongo no Bawumia
winning.
Oh Brian Champon a day. Me penasem. Vanama aka say mamenja no. Me penasem, but sometimes one ye niema wo betima yama party no ene wo wini a what you can do for this country. This thing about targeting Bawumia. Eno no party for no omo va nya adwuma o. Na won kai 98 election ye be call. President Gofo no ana kunta the venerable Judge Mensa they no kan fa akufon ho banche dada yan fa nkodwo wo de corner say anto
o se banche dada banche de kodwo a
yanto no yan fa kobiom but say bad for omoto banche dada no
yeah se na wo kan ye me won ase obi antimi kokana asem ni obeye ji so obi akwa oto efingu Bawumia ho
I don't know kawasem what can you do for the party what can you do for the people and then about Bawumia na be target look 2023 almost was a systems candidate. He was a target. Say almost in Nipano, they are going around to say Nipano didn't buy a crown or Jano. So is he still a system candidate to be attacked? The fact is, oh no, yeah, for
the funny part of that, and they say, oh yeah, you say Akufo-Addo opportunity and Tuntiano.
Yes,
but you say Akufo-Addo opportunity and Tuntiano. So Akufo-Addo support one support.
So what at all has this man done to them? But the party for now always says party for no name. The effort over the years, Dr. Bawumia, the Juma Oyema party way. Okay. Everybody when MPP. When everybody say some of the some of the promises MPP that MPP couldn't deliver no because Obia promising him na obetimaye. Didn't they use it against Bawumia? Say on over promise here his campaign on a year campaign no my party no win here but near more kind no on over promise here. Some of them left the party today. Omanja party no. Alan no call for those days so most Bawumia over promise. And not in a party no win here. They win here and the anti-man no you have to bono. Today the man has been able to campaign so hard for MPP to win together with the president and the candidate Akufo-Addo to win 2 terms. He's been on the campaign for since 2008. No, me my party for say any MP Bawumia supporter I'll be kasa on this primaries focused. Tell the people what the Bawumia DMB has done for this party and what he intends to do for the party. That is the message. Ignore these noises or more. No, once a while you respond, but your focus should not be on the candidates. Let them focus on Bawumia. Bawumia should focus, put his eye on the ball, talk on the issues that the people want to hear. Now, so can these delegates talk about? These aspirants talk about what is happening in Bole. Can they talk about the CD? Can they talk about national issues that vote for me to come and solve these issues?
Yes, Bawumia supporters no are busily holding government accountable, whilst other aspirants no supporters are busily
attacking Bawumia. So what kind of party is this?
There is, in fact, some of them cannot even mention Mahama. There's one aspirant who wants me more Mahama credit.
I know the Oboni di anka be me de. Me what they catch me Boni di. Me Boni di and I'll show reason why he cannot mention.
You want me come Mahama.
Yes, and we will tell you reason why want me more Mahama di.
Oba MPP candidate now Mahama.
So campaign man Oba face and
the next election is between the record of Bawumia and the record of Bawumia Akufo-Addo and Mahama and the same person is media onipa person me beating record the Kwame Nkrumah. I want to hear
that be who voice no
the Mary I said the only also person beating Kwame Nkrumah record because
into why you didn't call the system.
And I'm the tradition of MPP no the most successful person in the tradition was President Kufuor and then Akufo-Addo. And the person is not
MPP needs he will not even look at Kufuor's performance.
I say Kwame Nkrumah the person beat Kwame Nkrumah until Kwame
Nkrumah ne standard.
Yeah. So what it means is that Kufuor ne Akufo-Addo they are no close to baby.
And then MPP nipa. Opeso lead the party way.
Me da say Alhaji mesa ba hobim. Alhaji
so we 1 point pen na
on campaign. Mesa ba ho. Alhaji Mahama managing editor the Custodian newspaper. Peter Ankuma deputy managing editor for the Daily Dispatch. Say na find Nkrofo should find X and all that.
Me ba na me ti on say campaign no enya enu mpempen so be hit somewhere October November no
and e be pick up na initially time campaign start no na nam rough road we kaya and na tribal no you know but you see yes people must be careful the religious campaigner end this year in the last elections and the tribal campaign
in the last election and abuabo mu no and your majority leader in parliament he cannot go to his hometown.
President cannot go to his hometown.
About the IGP went there. Ama
ebonicho
se beba ho me beba ho
hwe until say we political party now start so be campaign near na unkofo be started some fa such rough road. Hey, you must be worried. So I'm happy say you know. I shifted because I'm so no and no come who's a statement be about one thing. Because so we what is no man here politics are home. Bedu be no unti mpo nko campaign.
Yeah.
Oh bedu be no the party MPP cannot even go to Boko enclave. Say the NDC ya beto omo no. Because say mama ko promise Boko for some more region.
Yes.
O say NDC wa bema
Peace ba.
Oh de ntokwa bi ama. Ene ono ani krom na amamfo.
Na me ka say.
E so nka ho hwe.
Sa ka sa no kra na entro.
Akufo ado. Enso ne Bawumia. E hwe ni krom fu. Ema 8 years BBS. Ono so by 8 months.
E create region kra ma.
14,000. Ni krom for 14,000 than refugees.
Yes. Enti unim eye say campaign be do propaganda. What I say? Any voodoo calculations. It's better say you be call religion any tribal na be do baby no. Be call a no go area for the political party. Not me conquer campaign. A man for die ya hye no. Man for fear ahye wo boko because of partisan politics na be mo pe wo sanyo. Unim say sa na omko ye wo Dagbon area.
Yes.
Ama and also in fact I'm the show constitution mumpo 2008 constitution. Manifesto. Sorry.
Some independent
the NDC winia MPP na kum rade mane masabio ya 90 NDC winia omo be hwehwe the perpetrators unim say NDC winia no 2009 do you know what they did? They went for Waku commission report. The same reporter Kufuor see as na o ye no report no mo de ko chinkofo bi do mo call court na court how is this possible? In the end, it took the NPP administration under the leadership of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo
to solve the problem.
Through Otumfuo, Nana Mekasmabo Nima, sorry, and Sana Otimi solve the problem in Dagbon area. Enti, nyoma bia pa say abedu voodoo propaganda, voodoo calculation. Na the honorable Kennedy Japan calculation no na mamuza Facebook o maye I nukra in a form. It is a 9 pena, another voodoo calculation.
Yeah.
And I mean, now would do say election be started afresh. Now, I don't know so console this time quite a different kind of
different crowd.
Then I can say, oh, 9 pack, 9 pack.
Let me say it was in
it's the same as that voodoo calculation now.
In response to some
but one year I'm comfortable, so the yen is I know you're better.
Okay.
Now you enjoy religious, you know.
Ethnic.
You see, because unim candidates some of them are very bad losers. Some of them.
Obi akase wo lusu ye wo de akasa. Wo de mami yeko.
Oh yeah, about that we need president election.
La na ma bia mo bosso. Some of them you know the people.
But unim to be fair, Brennan ho, some shifted from Ohana Yoko, Chief Justice Gono and Kwa Nenam Wopa.
Now why you MPP for?
That be meba. I agree with Kennedy Japan on one of the issues so raised, even though I disagree with Nyoma Bia no Okeka about the voodoo calculations no you know. But that second tape now boy, you know. Look, where I disagree with him in the political party there, and running a presidential election is very expensive. This for the past 2 or 3 elections, parliamentary, you know, who contest an MP, who try development fee.
Yes.
The MPs need to
no, yes. No, they say so much the Omaye. So why would I contest the MP?
Yes.
Who now be to development fee? Yes. Because MP now her consensus now for the 4 years.
Yes. Omutua. And before cross MPP be presidential form. It was captured.
Yes.
In fact,
and for dining
uncontested. So Honorable Kennedy Japan cannot say before cut off from no name say. In fact, no name.
Let me put it on record. Let me put it on record. That no more years I meeting no me call almost share nyina before CBB nomination.
Yes.
And they told them.
Yes.
Say be nomination now.
So say the Arsenal office or Mudi agro. Hope you are presidential yeka ma guidelines as you agro. No, it cannot be agro. What you say? And on that they knew. And running a presidential election is expensive. So apart from the form, no, let's just munju a fee be na ma agree. No what top form ni there. and you won't even say oh, but where I agree with him, and I'm happy say moving forward no, the national chairman will be the leader of MPP. Or Chebi MPP Babema. Sharing of contracts.
The national chairman has always been the leader of the MPP.
No. Vague. No,
okay. Well,
it was not explicit. They said they are share confusion. What I say? In fact, there was nothing like that.
There was nothing like that.
Yes,
but once the parties recognize, say, the national chairman chairs all the meetings.
See, the problem is that anytime our president, the person becomes
presidential candidate.
The national chairman chairs
the leader of the party. But they say it's very clear.
Okay.
Yes, so and say Oma state Adiashe constitution mu say because of him the last administration, no, not even this one, since Kufuompo, sharing of contracts, any kophobia, you contract ma. Yes, who running election a man for bow. Na party ni ko ahun yehiem omu yi omani ma omo no time
onum so mo kwa kwatie
time yes time enso kan honorable Canada Japan can me support no on that in any case on Canada Japan I would now can onya contract onya party ni e ba ye nya na wo yi bia be no ma omo say omo nya party for no mbaji contract akese na du ba bi omo ni sense kan ko finance NDC and make a comment very stupid and a comment against abayno ma abayni lusu ye na sankofo no mo we
entina Peter anti abayni this contract ni mom no onim so mo NDC for na
no you see na me chese but that is why
the elements and the wa abayni mu no na mo push ni the contract ni ma sankofo no na onim se sankofo ni NDC for
elements and na ebi mu nim but for whatever reasons
no in the last administration we need to more appoint a known NDC person as deputy NIB director. I'm reversing appointment.
And I mean, say, into moving forward, no, some of these mistakes will never happen because we have to hold the leader of the party. In this case, the chairman and cabinet, no, and buga at cabinet because all kind of say president so on tia also obey inside the party for against the president.
Yes.
Now I'm going to person can do baby crowd also come the shame say president crowd no party can betum at to vote of common that UAD. South Africa no. Yes. Well because for one ma omo president dia esonomo asemka
Ghana
and omo benya kunya no so a esonomo semka he. Omo nya kunya no ka omo ye tintintinti. Ye we also onye. Ye we also onye. Na party ko no mo ko lose a na oba beblemu one person. What do I say? So on that score, I agree with Canada Japan, 100%. And to be fair, when some of these things were happening, Canada Japan is on record raised issues against. In fact, contractors be another day contract momu obomudi Kofi Jobu ne ade. He spoke against openly. Magdan Canada Japan anka. And ne MPP ko hyehyem Magdan ne Kofi Jobu no omo way.
Omo ban na ba.
So when we are say, and on that score. I agree 200 million % with Kennedy Japan on that. But I disagree with the voodoo calculation. The same as the 9%, whatever, 9%.
But since I came, the last election, how can Japan one support the party? No?
Okay. Me no nyadwen. Support party na. Because if nothing at all, I saw him going around.
No, not that.
Financial, it's not true. There are some Tema Central, minimum so Oboa and Sikafem.
Okay.
Oboa individuals be a omuye party for.
Individuals, yes, will be Oboa.
Yeah, no, but no. But if nothing at all, it doesn't matter. But if nothing at all, because we are party, you know, on number no call rounds, no. On one is going to petrol, they call rounds to campaign for the party. You may disagree with what others have said on him, on what others have said about him.
You didn't oh mami we ya see to mami we ya and can you understand me better? May compare on support in 2024 to on support in the previous elections. I will not topic up say by say mama sikasi so share no there let's say abria o mejina ye no na ne support of the ma party no any opese obejina olusu ye no one support party no
eno na ebe bi no mo so
eno na ebe mo so ye so opese o hwe o page opese o hwe so o ye a true and true party person Okona will so win you. You should be able to support the party the way you support the party.
Well, and then
and moreover, no contract or no can say to boss, contract or no can say and Crawford contract and Combebuano. Or no sooner contract, no.
And it's a no contest. What many for? Some of the
contract.
Oh.
Contracts no be my
don't personalize. We
no,
should personalize.
See, it is not about personalizing.
Once you personalize it, we'll take the idea into any show.
But okay, correct. Correct your points. Contract and no.
He's not paying. He's also going to pay. You are talking about specific amount or yes, Obianja.
But going into the elections, no party for omuboa MPs nibi. No, obi to say Brana Champon. Support or the man, even Eastern Region MPs cry candidates cry alone. That is the argument we are making. So this contract member party near and yet they are even now. The Kobase, you got two abandons and Brana Champo and ya. I know say or best support to some MPs.
But you see, you
Olusumpa, I know say he's going to help some MPs.
They will.
Whatever it is, no. Some comfortable apart from their personal friends, would they take money? Some the bread party. Say na equal equity na say party in Franco by election.
I say yes, we are careful about this contract given to just party people. We should be very careful. As a buying, it is good they say the Ubema party for
but you balance
it. You balance it
yes.
In a way. Cause also
party for the door. Na party
I agree. Yes. But don't say Obi nye party ni na say a contractor. Man no contract.
I don't think so. The point is
that is not that.
Alaji, everybody na Kofi Job buy. We saw Kofi Job say or rise to baby away ni under Mahama first thing. And Obi Catcher say Ebi Kura can say it was a deliberate by John Ramanama to also create certain contractors almost being the financial muscle to compete. And by so doing, no, where then Kofi Job the loyalty to NDC and Mahama will not be like to NPP.
Now, so contracts no. Who was in charge of awarding?
Well, me ask my make can say.
And then blame me.
The MPP should have also been deliberate about creating contractors to Kofi Job's no standard no. So that so yeah pro MPP for
okay. Now if party ni kwa
and for some my classmates in anyway village anyway yeah Katangani and I'm anyway national UK Chicago na anyway number 2 double street.
With your clarification, I think
yes,
I'm give it up.
Yeah, you still have to. You can give some to the so-called other side form, and also the neutrals, and also
there's no neutral beer, Masa.
I can be there. Or say neutral person in there. They say no, but like they were saying, the party must. And apart from that, what stop a whole political party, MPP? Say be almost steel factory. Why? What is wrong? Yep. Party back on 8 years. NDC by power 4 years within 4 years. No more $20 million
party
head office. Should be a MPP head office.
Office in there, Hamid say baby a patriotic institute no one.
No office is a program be now qua. She
Baby me say office
no good yes.
Hey Peter, office no you. Office no me say me dey ha me. They say who school. Who school ama
what stop from
Peter
the other
about 6 million
party no. Be fitting $20 million.
Peter about 6 million members and supporters of the party who to school amomo. Hey school no. On the corner say how many badges?
Quadruple track.
All right, so conclude on this one.
Conclude no. Ebio indiscipline. So some of the candidates no so and aspiring candidates ni be when party have to take a decision. Esi wa blame come enough. Party no go take a decision. No mu say ye be ko no mu ko ya e din nsem bebre e ko bae. I was say election committee no as a free meeting. So you cannot sit at National Council and take a decision. Say mubeye ABCD.
Yeah.
Now major bontin major campaign so me running the party down. We are also supposed to be lead party
and discipline.
A typical example, Tamale Central. the national party no atnase say based on ABCD calculation some of them are members of the national council and the party no decision making body. I could take a decision away. No, I could not campaign platform say we should have contested. Also, a party for who's a sign way, Utobamana or indiscipline. Any pan, uncle for when they start talking like that. Maybe seeming support, say system support near the and also Abuano last year be kind those allegations the TR what about me I say na system ne support no. Inti almost queue their process no say we are no obey the obey winning. But here we are no. The this second and I say the main opposition leader, if you in quotes, Canada Japan at stadium can say oh the process were fair.
Free and fair.
So I still have the voice here.
What you say? And praise say Sada na everywhere. Say going into the election, they know preach no can show down in and say processes in arrangement ne election ni bibia be fair. Na party for kasa into support. There na che we be say going into that 2023 a contest no na system no ye skill koma obi. Oh, enti ye koya nim no ebe hiti. But ebe yes say ebe stick it to propaganda. Change say ebe call to a area a big problem mama party in the end. Naturally.
All right, Medasi. So Peter Ankuma, managing editor for the deputy managing editor for the Dispatch, and this week Musa Kwetia by,
and I told Audu Numukra our base say MPP candidate need to me win and why are they pa. But me can air crampo back because o share say na kwa win Kwetia and sheda I know who said swing and 50-50 constituencies.
In terms of parliamentary.
In terms of parliamentary.
Presidential.
MPP, NDC winning 5. Now, MPP.
NDC winning 5.
Since 92. Over 92.
92. Yes. But, so we'll share your history. So, anytime, Bia, Abambi, Beba, power, no. The first year, to some extent, the second year, no. By election, Bia, baby, I will win it. From after 1992, they say in him say it was one-sided election. 96. So Woodman said now Rollins. But even 96, no, first year, second year, there was no by-election. But a could do 1999, 2 by-elections nearby. But 99 no crampo no. Now Rollins are so unpopular. Ama the opposition party no base. Sata no near car kontokano. Into now the Great Alliance, Nenu Manum in Abaso. But even 96 and 1999 by election a basso war, Ablikma Central, MPP winning, and this is who we need Lambusi a Audu Krum.
Yes.
Over 2000 to 2004. President Kufo winning first term, no. When say by elections, a call winning, including the supposed swing constituency and asset seats. Tusha. NPP winning Kumawu. After Kumawu here, Obeka say, MPP, Omadia, now stronghold. Bimbila, Abra, Ibn Chambers, Echo J international appointment, you know. MPP support to Nitu, Anoye PNC ni. In 2002, Mani winning. Willensi, MPP, because not goodwill, ne Adeno, who winning. Even Amenfi West. And Nakra and this MP.
Yeah.
But one of the swing constituencies because of the goodwill and now MPP war, the first 2 years Nintino, we need President Kufo Abreso. So all the 7 by-elections are by in 2000 between 2000 and 2004. And of course, say Ekobasa na say omo call elections now. Party owa bam no. The message ni say man to aba mame ha. Munya development, especially when we are in this case NDC by Omunya 1 year mpo. Forget about the threat of the comma minus he says a man to about my Belgium lines same amko small scale mining in Juma any no. They started doing some acquaint bi. Says a man to ama NDC acquaint ye bejai. Na one empe acquaint. So between 2004 and 2008 by elections a buy Tamale Central and so be him say NDC there. Asawasen so NDC. And all do NDC. Ushia offense only for me na year buying na MPP there. Inte muche 2008 to 2012. Akwatia after 2008 election now from few I think 3 polling stations or so. 6. Omukotoe into of course MPP winning. Of course now a polling station now omuto abama MPP anyway. But etiwa any etiwa MPP ne winning here because etiwa so ne obi anim say yeah. But naturally pony MPP a winning pen. But because that na NDC na ewa ban mu no omo winning chiponi in 2009 by elections. Jerapa there I would adamfo no okoye chief no na ye NDC dey antenu kwa dey enye news. The same thing over 2012 to 2016 na this talents yes. I say hona wadamfo no koye chief. Referee dey kaka. No ejuma wo to no papa no. Enti the same thing 2012 to 2016 the same between the only say I was interested in the turnout. Usha, this by-election is almost 60-something%.
Yeah.
A unique. A chese MPP ngui. Because by-elections are been no here turnout now 37, 34. I think the highest so far is the 47 or so. So this is the by-election yakwa voter turnout no. E was ropa. Until they compare the votes coupled with intimidation in your course near the promises.
And it's open.
Vote by you know because when you say
election when MPP niska no muniska
mo the contract ma MPP for kamu ko izega
me was general secretary ni Samia Okuno money or Chibe Funume nama Charlie I was happy to them.
That's anyhow.
So, but in spite of no vote by an HSA going forward, no. So, I'm reorganizing here.
No, what it means, the outcome of the election, HSA, in any day, in the general election, Asimedu will be the lawyer.
Oh, yes.
Because with all the intimidation and
promises
on the day of election, you're crying.
What is I'm register a man for class on before
yes.
Why? Any man no money now. Now, some do to mania this voter.
No, some do in any election will be the guy.
Yes.
And he Peter made that say, Alhaji, Mami Tiun, so we are making video intro.
Menche
about the turn. I'm making video intro.
Look, election way. So ba akwetia presidential election now. Presidential the AMPP area. When it comes to presidential results, since 2000, since 2000, Rollins and Penna winning Akwitia in presidential. From 2000 up to 2024, a presidential the MPP are winning now. Is a parliamentary in the swing.
Yeah,
in the swing. But if you have a candidate, if you have a party in government, say there will be a kind of Akwitia or more kind. Ekwano problem ho people are unemployed people na aban bi aba say ye na ye wa ba mu ye be ma mo juma ye be ma mo roads one man to am ye sa na man
and you get near person is Collins Dada go there to threaten people
exactly say man to a ye be stop bibia o ha if you are in that constituency open development roads in ye maybe what would you do rational thinking human being
every voter will vote for
exactly. So any look, sa election way at least the about 6 regions in there were southern sector or 7 was southern sector. MMDCs nyenawo no more except those who were out of the country. Ministers nyenawo except those who were out of the country. Agame appointees nyenawo except those who were out of the country. With all the resources, even on voting day, they were doing roads. As for the money, I don't want to say it, but we are behaving like ostriches. Now more ska there every koye. All these things are just for one by-election or more in a year. I think MPP should not be overly worried about this election because the resources and the energy that NDC put, they were just to prove a point. Because once it's any more BBR, they were to prove say, oh, yeah, now we are still popular. That's all they wasted all this money and resources in one by-election, but May election will not be the same. So if I see people say, oh, national executive should resign, they should be blamed for this election. Oh, Juma, what's the name? Kodua and team here.
Yeah.
For 2 weeks, no more, even without resources. Or should be
yeah.
So,
no, sorry.
No, I think he went too far. I said it somewhere by putting his seat on the line. But he was promised by the people because of Juma no and nothing no sir. They worked. They should not lose hope. MPP people should not lose hope because they've lost this by-election. People say, I've seen airlines say 3 street of defeats. MPP are confused. And only there 19 seats police station there were Ablekumanov. Anyway, any there he be
general election.
Sir, MPP what they need to do, they say they should omonjai a division say woman come together, fight this presidential premise. After that, they unite. The one thing that MPP will have to work on is a perceived real of apathy. But me make our baby, say MPP supporters now move. So far, they are still not hungry enough. They are angry, but they are not hungry. When they are angry and they become very hungry, comedy or more, the apathy will also stop. And check within 1 year, 2 years, sir, hunger no better come. And that's how I can.
Yeah.
That's the time MPP supporters will show their true love for this party.
Alaji made us say, NDCC Tom winning, winning the biggest losers. The independent candidate no more parliament Omujo Manumuno. Now, independent candidate we saw a bema, Onyeke, Obete Keke. And because now they have their 2 tests.
Yeah.
They have more than 2 tests. And also they are now independent candidate. Blabber threatening Attorney General Bimini Hadi. And I beat them boy. Until there. Ashanti Patrol,
Mati say I will show you another by-election, member.
Obi, yeah, Mati. Obi send the video.
And you say any pan be wo.
So Obi bet me akoji. Unim. Say wo share video ya me de bet you ya. Na Obi jina baby na oblemi Bawumia. Say Bawumia na me MPP elusu election na. Wo share video na o send from ani bia onyini. Ashanti Patrol. I mean, if video insert.
What are they? All this one. Hey, Bawumia, a t-shirt and the campaign. Thousands of them. Yet the Abubu warehouse with the CA Amayanti and Yampa campaign. Now we're better than what we need about. Share books. Full of Moshade. Now better than what we need about without this. So who was responsible for this? Who was actually responsible for this work? Our dear baby to our warehouse, and dear Guhonom, young pioneer campaign. And I'm not one with everybody nearby. And my idea, Munya serious, MPP, and I prepare can. Munya serious. What I say, Munya serious, because I will say, and happy. Master, Munya books, you mammy, will be framing the bare evidence at Reno. Monshade, t-shirts, Monshade, all this one. Hey, Bawumia, a t-shirt and the campaign. Monshade, thousands of them. Yet the Abubu warehouse with the CA Amayanti and Yampa campaign. Now we're better than what we need about. Share books. Full of Monshade. Now better than what we need about without this. So who was responsible for this? Who was actually
Madam Masalaji? So be the sending video, ma'am. I think I said you do a china, you pay maybe a baby free name near Babati. So call election. Now say look, young station here. Ya jiska, many God in that sebre. Ya the home for because t-shirt demand for t-shirt no. Na untia jiska SRS the for Momudiska by me the crochet t-shirt you be at the command for. But t-shirt, thousands of t-shirts.
I think they will. If the party will not do it, the party, somebody may be in charge of this. Somebody may be responsible for this. I think DMB team and Kasa should investigate this matter. Look, me Sabonzongo, Ablekuma Central. People were angry because my team and DMB t-shirts and brown. I took t-shirts to some people. Some people didn't get. Those who didn't get were angry with me. Who knows that Omar we angry? No, they probably would say that Omar don't to my DMB because t-shirts cramming.
Na t-shirts one for
and no now be a store t-shirts. And when they get up, Bawumia is a problem. Bawumia never lose election. All this sabotage.
Wake home.
No. Wake home.
But you can also take away abiding policies. Be any.
No.
But that's why I just said.
No, we are not going there.
But apart from that, after the election, Rana fertilizer beer or some komukochema.
Fertilizers. Yes.
Now your warehouse be fertilizers. Now when they are great
thousands of them.
Oh, so who is in charge of fertilizers? When they are great
thousands of them.
Oh, there be so
thousands of bags of fertilizers.
Sometimes you be heavy. Fertilizers in there ko who your home. Now when they are Greek minister.
As I be a Greek minister or supply na assembly ne Oma also
now we are minister let's also supply. You don't see to say ko phone. Me see me chrome no many language. Ukohona ko ties asema.
Now this is few bi wonuma the fertilizers ne komo mo so mo nche. Oma anchu no mo keep you assemblies wo. And ye to abawie MPP lusu wie no. And if you mo de cars ko si wo san ko mo kotwe. E dia so mo koton adu. Kwan NDC for ndi omo fa so no. So most of them NDC before some Mahama be take out of office kra no. Na NDC for na ache fertilize na mo ho. Nti wo hu abura wa.
I had serious issues with MC. So MC be how on the party for nye fine. Omo there for 8 years now.
In fact there was a warehouse in Ashanti baby a fear in Ashanti regional abrosign.
Ablekuma Central. MC no no.
The video came.
No, the party for Omonia fine. My minute now for 8 years. Ablekuma Central. Mimi constituency. Many Jimmy saying
Ablekuma.
Listen, one the Monjais attempt to know say Omudi Bibi Abegu Bawumia so.
That's all no answer count.
No appointee amount.
No. As a candidate, no. The formation of campaign team, I've always.
And no, so yeah, Assem.
Okay, then I say I would do Mahama, a managing editor for the Castilian newspaper, Peter Ankuma, and so a deputy editor for the Dispatch newspaper. Alaji Mami Fama.
CJ same way. Say you can say we a script be na NDC for Troy in opposition on this. Obi now behind him say once NDC for buy no, and with the person leading the whole charge no. Na mame no ye nyina nim say obeko. But there may ya. Say I can say we have had this republic. How many presidents in Kenya? President Rawlings, President Kufuor, President Atta Mills, President John Mahama first, number 1. Akufo-Addo and John Mahama 2. Onim say all these presidents have been petitions against CJ say yomo.
Yes.
Based on this same article 146. How come say Omonyena, in fact, the good one per se me cite here, Professor Mills. In fact, when NDC was in opposition, almost omoba said omoka so ombeyi Torkornoo. Almost omba ombeyi Mrs. Georgina Wood. Almost ombeyi no because of Nema Bia almost say mame no. Yeah. When they came, because of NDC by at that time, they President Mills, well, law professor.
Yeah.
Also, Nema no say as prudent president now or no, or yeah no. When he because he was a prudent and I don't want to use the word reasonable. Prudent president no. Yeah, the petition no by there no yeah. Who guys are bogu yeah.
Yes.
Oh, who say be animu and I know they lead you to. There are many ways of killing a cat. And I call Besano say also a cat hunter. Because there's a reason why removal of CJ no.
So question
There's a reason why presidents have been reluctant in removing CJs using Article 92 Constitution. Because that provision 146 on a vehicle. It is not clear. It is not clear. That is why presidents have been very careful in using it. Obi say na president my law professor lawyers say a president John Mahama he followed the constitutional provision ono onye boni bia nti others no a omo bogu ye no so they didn't follow constitutional provision omo de na omo nim law professor no nim say article 146 wo ho no nim. Once you go through say prima facie case when a determine prima facie case any president in the council of state. So if the petitioner the buyer if they had not determined say these frivolous charges were waiting not to remove CJR, would there have been any committee? Say president in the council of state, if they had looked at this petition, charges were already you mami we say where you frivolous, there cannot be a prima facie case against the woman. John Mahama constitution I say or set a committee no would he has as will he said the committee. So when people say he followed constitutional year, it is that prima facie case in finding no crowd there. It is not a discretionary. Check. Because you have to find a case. Because obi the big petition bar, you have to look at the issues. Say way, say be away kwasiasem. Then you that one burgu. What frivolous issues way you found favor in these issues? Say when the council of say the woman has questions to answer. Then you set up a committee. What do you expect the committee to do when the committee in actual fact was working under your supervision? So more now said here, and yes sir. President appointing members of the committee.
Yes.
And what you tell them probably is what, because you have written the script already.
And in fact, Lawyer Adolfo raised a very important issue. Say, Abre Adome level.
Yes.
I will him say, or you bitter against the woman.
Yes. Why will he be part of
and
this?
Ogusu or Tiwa or Yejuma, then one man appointment as board chairman for
Yoko. You see, the committee, I will get there. But the when the committee was set up, our cases were in my men, even when they say man issues are more determined prima facie case. One can. And our court, Supreme Court, said Nema, she appeared before the committee, requested for all this Omamano. The Supreme Court now was the highest court of the land, more head of the issue whereby. What did they say? Tell the woman. Say, because Nema were in camera, yes. You cannot, she could not have come to it. And I may be some questions here. Sir, time now just about for born in a presided with others. And I may be say, if these allegations were made against any of these judges, call committee, this is a faces a problem way. Where would they have gone? Because they would have said, bet na hona oma many sa injustice no na yede yi no, because you will have no place to go. Mami no call no, they threw her out that she should go and die in silence. And na mami no say sorry, say or call human rights court or high court. And I make me say if the highest court of the land could not decide, could not save you or not, could not protect you through legal means. High court, they're not high court, baby. No.
Judicial arrangement. No.
Don't worry, Peter. I know that. Human rights court. Now, your fundamental says the highest court of the land were decisions that they were supposed to take. They filed a supplementary affidavit talking about these same issues. Or they call human rights court at the highest court. Man protect you. High court, they're not there.
No, but they told her say those issues no and yet. Jurisdiction no should be the high court. High court so it denied jurisdiction. Some also need jurisdiction.
There was one issue. There was one issue. In fact, there was a supplementary affidavit. Almost the issues were in camera hearings, and therefore they do not have. There was no right.
No, yes, that's correct. But the issues were different from the human rights. I
understand.
Yes.
Now, human rights, who issues are different at the highest court, no crown or high court, no, because the thing I've told you is a script. Script. And then your trust script to normal be and won't meet you. So I said this human rights court, no, or now it was challenging the law or testing the law, but it will not work. Eventually, it didn't work. Unim, say Mami no you know.
Yes.
You know it. Based on issues now, Peter, because there's no time, you look at the issues. What should I say? Chief Justice or no why head of institution or two kind. Travel guidelines. A man of quite say ultimate obi two kind with ne obi or person or didn't two kind. At one point she traveled with the daughter. At one point she traveled with the husband. This is the basis say. First of all, cannot the man on any on one at man on spending officer no on one. Nipa no the pay no on one. And no call my miss she came back with the money and no she pay back the money. Yeah, me bisa say, yeah, president also two coin on in the family two coin. Who pays for it?
Now you are the son Nebashara.
Executive arm of government. So president headed by two coin on family go. One it ya. Speaker of Parliament or two coin on the year name Maumun two coin.
In fact, the house girl Krakobi.
One it ya.
Ghana.
How come a head of an institution, third arm of government, or no dear, she can't even.
What the young fan say, there's no guidelines in Po. That's all corner say only to coin. And this would be basis for removal of a CJ.
No politicians, Nyambe Tuomoka. It's a Monprafo Amudu Mutukan Ghana and the expense of the state.
Oh, there's Nyambe Tuomoka, Jamami, Mati. Another network. CJ cannot do this. Another point and then said, or transfer will be. Yes. Hey, head of an institution cannot do transfers. Me so obi go to me madam for IGP. Oba Dampare. So transfer amount for.
Yes.
Papa will buy Yohonu. The regional commander Koha, regional Koha. Do we say obi kajem say transfer now CJ and victimization. So say into more transfer ni panye na they were victimizing the.
Wabrajo Mahama, what transfer constitutional head da? What transfer shall say from NCC to electoral commission? And
then victimization. Second one no crowd there, me crowd the other one.
Actual letter come up.
Actual letter come up and you say on ye
on my 0.5 Supreme Court justices.
So suddenly was it binding on the president? In fact, when the president had not even acted, did not even act on the recommendation. And this should be the basis.
But only near ya. Mahama so by 3 months, non so appoint 7 justices.
Only. He didn't go through that omo process.
7 months.
So
3 months, no appointed 7.
But me no, the responsibility lies with this judicial service recommendation. You know, so the president has a discretion. Say me pay we. So that is the reason why they should have have used this recommendation against Chief Justice. But more in April, me can be, and let me end with it. If this Omo AD the meya was same way the legal judicial service judicial judicial the more court no support to executive say they should be subjugated they want to be under the executive and almost support to president and almost CJD but me can dachi mami way after working as a lawyer for about 38 years working as a judge for how many years? Over 20 years, from High Court up to you, or by vetting twice or 2 times. She came to vet for vetting as a member of as a
Chief Justice.
As a Supreme Court judge. She came second time as a Chief Justice. Nobody raised any criminal issue against this woman. For 38 years, being a lawyer and over 20 years as a judge.
Nobody can say onye bribe mpoda.
Nobody. That is the thing now, Mami we or the coffee. Her integrity and everything is intact in the minds of right-thinking Ghanaians. Now me ma can't say. Omo di Mami we your friend said Bonnie. From the top, every member of this conspiracy theory or Mombide, God will punish each of them in one way or the other. The woman has God. You see, sometimes punishment will be a malfunction. Punishment may not be you yourself. Ebi ebe yo ba. Wa wo don pa. Ebi ebe yo bia o ben pa. Eno na asambe to no. God will answer the prayers of this woman. Injustice way from the top to the Supreme Court, the committee. Di mami we boni Nyankopon. Karma is real, and each and every one of them will suffer for it.
Alaji me da say, oye politician, oye aban mu pani, what they won pena for 2 coin at the expense of the state. What they o wi man sika e the talk car, to dan ma won pena. Now we say Chief Justice wan fa ne pran ko or the new kunu and then the back. Now we say nunti wi na dia. O do pena ko 2 coin ko Dubai, ono ko da hotel. Obe wa so. How saying at the expense of the state? Why would you see Kadia? Now, dear, would obey me don't prako. Na Ghana for Ghana for bomb plan. Na Ghana for a bomb plan hoka. Now, but to the Ghana for Sika, but to dine at the amount plan or her out to talk cars. But Chief Justice don't mean for Nukunko. What in the choir? What in the from Ghana?
Only say, your president way. There was a petition. Obi is having Daniel Mensah. In private, Nidia Daniel Mensah, or a high court judge. There was a judicial tribunal ruling on the matter say unity. Yeah, my president way says a judge, or endorse Mama in 2012 against the rules of AE. And also, or banishi, or be our Juma administrator be a hospital. Yeah, finding say, Mamma, Papano, Judge, Julian Pamano. They decide reporting now, mama. So yes, he should have follow constitution. Why didn't he dismiss that?
In fact, before say obecting the committee, there was a petition against.
But says judge no cry, they no call court of appeal.
I may say there was a petition against Justice Bawumia.
Yes.
And now, that petition, I'm refer to the Chief Justice. Before the Chief Justice will act on the petition, then Mahama appoint Justice Bawumia to determine so be Chief Justice Nedi and so Nedi. Make us say that petition, there was a petition against Justice Bawumia. The same way case I done for the case now. Yeah, the call Justice Bawumia case needs to be. Or one of my favorable ruling Madam Rufori and a Chief Justice am I against. And you way so much now. See, maybe I will St. Peter, Mammy Tio.
Near Ato Yamame, Madam Torkornoo nunim. Munya makambi, but you see, Papa Penny movie pa menene kwa sorry. No de bia no ushawa na futu o de mawa and say, karma is real. We are so we bibia na why careful. Bibia be bia so hu say so nsuso ewo. It may not come a net, but ochina bi ebeba. Na clear say Oma anyi maame because of law and ase why boni bia.
No.
Politics. Now nim. God is wonderful say. Ebra almost started say maame na boni no. Omo keka nsem bebre including the fact say who pay the mama kra no amuna. There was one to be
video no
circulate
eh ni ebribi ye obo ye Muhammad ni why so why na no see
wa chia no oh yes
enti o say maame no hu pese mama no amuna enti obi hu pese mama no amuna de ede na wotimi one no ye adwuma onim keka nsem bebre but thankfully ekoba say also munya petition to remove to kickstart the process no omo the petition nsem bebre na koy omo ye nhwemu koye nhwemu ye no omo se baako na omo agina so a omo de ayede eyine na baako no kura ampo no luckily omo statement na the secretary to the president Callistus etroe ema reasons are omo gina so the yi ma me na di no omo se Daniel Ofoli na a petition ne buy nanim reho na I think there is God na
nyame wo ho
ade baako a me den so ne se onim petition na Daniel Ofoli no de koye se yenyi ma me na di no in paragraph 5 paragraph 6 okan bibi and I would do kasa okan bibi say prima facie case no
yes
it should not have been even been established against the woman because what Daniel Ofoli na ni petition or the koye na of which I have a copy here page 5 I say it is before the committee appointed by the president per the 146 that the allegation of misbehavior and incompetence that we state and outline in this petition against the Chief Justice must be proved by evidence. Till no other contest for proof of allegations other than the committee is provided for in the Constitution. The petition is therefore not the place to try to offer evidence of the misbehavior and incompetence that we put forward against the Chief Justice.
What?
Yeah.
Enti, or no say the petition
no any evidence.
And that's the reason why. That's the reason why a petitioner no and testify.
Yes.
When you say petitioner and testify,
Yes, because you are
because or testify, you be cross examine.
You may be sound yes.
Into one testify.
Oh,
No
yeah.
more afraid witnesses 13. Yeah. Into only be.
Only evidence. Enti, you see, a day in so pana President Mama and the Council of State. A jina so.
Or time.
E did tell me sampa, mamino or and some webby cry also ya nunti. Yanko committee, name fanko mom no mun konku. Day so. Because nothing was provided in the Constitution. In the petition.
Nyankopon be punishing it.
Yet, committee no. Sure. There's God though. But win him.
And God is
In
good.
spite of that, no. Committee no. Ewie no. Alaji aka or court koi per article 33(1). Also, you have every right say nipa bia obetimi akọ fight for your human rights. Ni nyina court na mo. And that's why meeting lawyer Adolfo no can be say no, you say easy. So what may you CJ?
Justice,
And the justices, yes, and the justices of the Supreme Court, any High Court, any Appeal Court judges, ni nyina no. M1 was say, Oma edin.
Omo na mo edi e. Omo edi omo na mo
no, you cannot say so. Ebimo. Oh, ebimo.
What's it here for?
I say High Court.
The judiciary.
In fact, the High Court, eba ni nyina de ehun. Omo de ehun. Eje obi a sonson ne ho ni na djuma. But Supreme Court de ne de ebi ya kan say ebi di yawo. Say ma no mo wo ho asana mo ye senior to maame no.
Yes.
And they appointed maame no esan omo ho. And then you be see omo konso. So they were from day one. They have never been happy with sir appointment by no. Enti me na memo obi bo amenyo.
Oh, okay.
Aha.
Okay. It's him because when him enyina so no per the letter na secretary to the president MI no. The first one they account wasem which is that onini kunu etukwan. No mko no ni kunu je per diem. Mewa so share the Superior Court judges policy na the amended one. On say omo obi last revised 2010.
Yes.
And omo January 2019 the amended one. Now, Omuchre say, oh, the policy draws its strength from the other two arms of government. That is the executive
and then parliament.
Where the state fully covers the travel expenses of the aide de camp and protocol officer or personal assistant who accompany the respective heads of their foreign travels. New judicial service policy no say who share the other arms of government now. States cover omo aide camps, omo protocol officers, and omo personal assistants. Omo no mu tukwan. It is a president to say speaker omo tukwan out meaning the personal assistant aide camp ko. Omo ni tia. And based on that, no mo revise say
in 2019.
In 2019. Say Kobase, the Chief Justice, the Chief Justice shall undertake unlimited official travels with either his or her spouse or other person of his or her choice in a year, fully funded by the Judicial Service.
Hey, but
do you know, sir, policy way?
Yes.
Are you go to no more lawyers, CJ, no? Educate committee nani?
But the person who was chairman, so
I challenge the Supreme Court judges and say, some tukanya.
Yes.
Why not ebe fande omo travels? Is it not the state?
It's a state.
And so would they travel with omo spouse and now say any person of their choice and
Don't worry, all these will be used against them. That
where the chief justice now, where the chief justice is accompanied by the spouse or other person, he or she shall travel on the same class of air ticket as the chief justice and shall be paid equivalent of half the per diem of the chief justice. And he said, Mr. CJ, and I said, Mr. Torkornoo, the man half the per diem.
Okay, and say justice, but money so to coin.
Oh yes, recently.
I was acting CJ.
Okay, acting CJ.
Yes,
and I was to coin.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, my Matis and Kubu somebody
petition.
A back or request.
RTI. I'm back as national security.
How? Salary of a year, travel a year where CJ, national.
Sir,
and then a market near the absurdity and pathetic. Yeah, when him say states but obi who can a problem. When him say ene ebimo omoje double salary. No me ministers omoje ya omo MPs omoje sika aban no sika kodi omo na o senka. E clear violation be.
So Nigeria mo president Akufo-Addo Nigeria mo.
How do what am for no me money din because we're very good friend.
Yes.
He's all over defending this decision. Just like CJ said, Sawa down for no. He benefited from such. He was part of the double salary. Oh,
no,
on
Peter, who na wanya na adebeche no be infant how say. Who no be abo micro no.
Now so 50-50.
Eh kwame ukura no mu twetwe. O se me de ho acho. Na nipa no wakobo kono no we so mu no so fa ho.
Bisa question no.
I mean am ko bisa asa question.
I say 50-50.
I no say 50 but can bro for amanti ase. O wi o say 50-50. I don't know me ya amanti asa panic. And Matiami do as I reproduce me question the president answer no. Yeah.
50-50 one out here.
50-50 na me because no man penia and Radwin said onya ade obesa NDC MPs 32 line akwako jeli om.
Yes.
Ba obi ntie obi de onyo
me say 9 PPMPs naka 87 no. Odo opa me ehun se omumu 50 at double salary. Jo mama de omu nyina be court de omu aguafia.
Oh yes. Unim ne how etosu mienu ne say
chale adewe
ne how na me ho in Callisto's letter no Osa state here say ni enyina so mienu omu gina so de pam maame no say oko recommending oko make a suggestion to
the
president say
on for judges be
on appointed judges be Emra Supreme Court na Supreme Court adwuma no ayedin a recommendation Ghana Bar Association a support no on that sampa adwuma goes or extensive work
US
and my examples of abroche any they here say be here na ene kra yesu go judges o mo say enya 19 ene
no time I 14 almost say a pack
yes ene per the 7 now president Mama appointed enya 19 the idea based no just
Akufo-Addo was appointing people to replace those who have gone on retirement
16 at any point in
the maximum was 15
near your Ogya say 14 and a ho me nu pe na nya Akufo-Addo na appointed imu 12 Akufo-Addo na appointed and that's but na me be certainty no na ka vacancy ni be da ho onya nto ho ana so onko se mahama nso appoint bi bra
in this country before 2000 all Supreme Court judges were appointed by one NDC,
including an electoral commission. You be
so NDC for
NDC in those cases. You see, what's someone? Fair. So I know so almost say or make his recommendation. Now, can quote a statement not left here now from report now almost say and into a year morning now say the Chief Justice cannot lay claim or be ignorant to the fact say or a mistake in appointing to
how
in let me read it cannot lay claim to ignorance of nomination process and procedure, notwithstanding the fact that the processes and procedure are not spelled out in the constitution but case law. The appointment of the Chief Justice herself as a Chief Justice of the court went through the very process and procedure set out in Ghana Bar Association case. Therefore, to seek wittingly to outwit this known process and procedures for appointing Supreme Court Justice amount to misbehavior in the eyes of the committee. So, can Article 1442 now? A chair processes of appointing a Supreme Court judge. But any clear said the committee now as to the process quite fast. Because or say the other justices of the Supreme Court shall be appointed by the president acting on the advice of the Judicial Council. The president will appoint acting on the advice. But Usha President Mama appointed 7. While appointed based on acting on the advice. He President Mama rather wrote to the Judicial Council. So for recommendation Emra. So Usha
on book case law so.
But you see, the case law no Ghana Bar Association law against the Attorney General any president a president no. Okaya Justice Doche Eka Bibi say yes. Okaya constitution there and spell out the processes no apart from saying say the Judicial Council recommendation as a decision emra so that the president will appoint or act based on that. You cannot force the president to that processes alone. You should be allowed. So the recommendation can come from anywhere to the president. So the president will then decide to say based on this and go through the process. In any case, when the CJ made the recommendation or suggestion, did you go through the process?
Yeah,
action no eba so.
Amaso.
Then na operation based on
my favorite judge ba ku wom. Na hame Justice Efiase Wasaribotwe.
Oh,
no cancer 5
oh yeah,
pam. Me yapa so omama na nko Supreme Court no so.
Yes, yeah. Oh, but
because no ye adwuma no.
So no, am so onyini sa.
Say omo de ne call up
court of appeal, yes.
To boy adwuma pa.
Onyini sa. So enti say o kan we any case law na oma eko 2 year na. Ma many nti amra bia, especially when the action no ya implement. Yet omagina so say why yes anti ye nyinadi na transfer there it means na so dey you obi transfer saving why mpo na say enye say oye mpo a na eno no eye enough eyi say because administrative decision ti ye nyina so na ye fampam no hwe eye na minim say mpanimfo bi penfo bebre any president mama kasaya wenti penfo bi ne kasaya
no better no wati
adina oye no
in fact me hu publication bi say amaliba crack say enkrofo bi crack try to immediate on behalf of my minister mahama enhwe ne retirement crack ne omunye package man an kon retire ye cry say no crack wenti and me hu say uncle P send a message say so 32 years away adwuma as judge no or coffee with 0 nti ene oni package bi odi coffee or yes apan ene odi coffee sa nti say ye ko negotiate even retirement the man okra na papa na nti a ene na mu ma say endra me hu video bi Peter
yeah
yes abem mu bi be ye 9 years edidi man pani atem e say national security for pe on ne ma me ne papa chi omo. I saw the video on social media and I was like, and I only post to boy now already man penny at them. No can say into Wentina and man penny man national security for a harassy boy and ebushing for some more chill man. I don't know, but we have to follow up on that. So Peter,
until the say, yeah, mama, and
I can 8 years and some better retirement.
Yes.
So surely no NPP government and back 2029 no. Many the next NPP government are reinstated no. Me akebe reinstated no. And I be trying 4 years no akọ. Na to omo a eye ne sa bone ne wo Supreme Court bench ni so. No no omo de si ani wo ho pa.
Unim say some of them I'm told say omo ye na danfo pa o.
Abra no ho no oni on the bonkusu ata.
Oh, hey, na if you say karma is real.
Okay. Asante Pacho, na Alhaji Audu Muhammad bisa se Gordon wo hen.